This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
As a reminder, I'd like to ask everybody to check their cell phones, make sure they're on vibrate or off, please. Good evening. I'd like to ask Post 76 to call for the colors, please, led by Commander Bob Maturo. Please rise if you can for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing while we invite Donna Marissa Wald to sing the national anthem.
Oh, sweet
That was beautiful, Donna. Thank you very, very much. 1276. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 inauguration ceremony for the town of North Haven. My name is Larry Lazaroff, and I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. I'd like to recognize and thank the Color Guard of Post 76, as well as the Police and Fire Color Guard. I'd also like to recognize the following individuals who will be taking part in tonight's ceremony. The Honorable Bernadette Conway, the Honorable Kevin C. Doyle, the Honorable Brian T. Fisher, the Honorable Mark T. Gould, the Honorable Frank A. Iannotti, Honorable Walt M. Spader, Jr., the Honorable Michael Brandt, and the Honorable Jack Keys, who is in the audience somewhere. Clergy, Pastor Jim Detweiler of Hope Christian Church, Pastor Scott Morrow, North Haven Congregational Church, Pastor Jim D'Angelo, City Church, Pastor Don Rivers, Mount Carmel Christian Church, Pastor Michael Carbaugh, Pond Hill Baptist Church, Pastor Wayne Lavender, Faith United Methodist Church, Pastor Ralph Purificato, Liberty Community Church, Father Michael Santiago, St. Elizabeth of the Trinity, and Reverend J.P. Morgan, Monteluise Baptist Church. Legislatures, Senator Len Fasano, Senator Martin Looney, State Representative Dave Iaccarino. Department heads, Ed Swinkowski, Director of Finance and Administration. Fire Chief, Paul Januszewski. Police Chief, Tom McLaughlin. Director of Public Works, Lynn Sadowski. Director of Field Operations, Michael Maturo. Superintendent of Schools, Patrick Sturk. Director of Library Services, Sue Griffiths. Deputy Police Chief, Kevin Glenn. Deputy Fire Chief, Scott Martis, and Deputy Fire Chief, Dave Marcarelli. Also, I'd like to welcome Judy Olean, President of Quinnipiac University. If I've overlooked anyone, I apologize, and I thank you for your service to the town of North Haven. At this point, I'd like to have a moment of silence to honor, pay respect to a good friend from the town of North Haven, Walter Gorrich. Walter passed away a little while ago. He not only was a Marine who fought in battle, he was a policeman, a police commissioner, and a first selectman for the town of North Haven. I'd also like to have a moment of silence to recognize the men and women in the armed forces who serve so proudly to protect us. So we'll observe that, please. Thank you. So we gather tonight for the 6th consecutive inauguration of Michael Frieda, his team, all the boards and commissions for the town of North Haven. For over 10 years, the Frieda team has worked hard to make North Haven the remarkable community it is today. North Haven is recognized around the state as a standard to be judged against, and for many good reasons. AAA bond rating, balanced budgets, no tax increases, fiscal responsibility. North Haven stands as an example of how to get things done, both effectively and efficiently. As a matter of fact, this past June, the Reader's Digest even named North Haven, in particular Clintonville Elementary School, as one of the 50 finalists in its annual search for the nicest places in America. Congratulations to the students and staff of Clintonville School and to Principal Dowling. So let's briefly recap some of the economic developments in North Haven under Michael Frieda. To the south, Continued progress and growth in the BJ's Plaza and Cinemart area, with Chick-fil-A, a hotel being put up, and other businesses soon to be opening up. Centrally, Washington Commons, the former North Haven Shopping Center, has been completely renovated. Looks amazing, and is nearly completely occupied except for one small store. The former Del Oro Plaza, raised and ready for redevelopment. The former Old Glory to become a new Citizens Bank. Town Fair Tire, Ulbrich Steel, just to name a few. To the north, who doesn't talk about Amazon Fulfillment Center? Everybody talks about it. Quinnipiac University and all the associated schools go along with that. And more stores and restaurants opening up in that area of town. All are part of the development plan of Michael Frieda. One of the most endearing features about Mike is his ability to listen and communicate with everyone, Republican, Democrat, or unaffiliate. Mike's approach has never been and never will be a them versus us attitude. It has always been a we policy. We work together, we set goals, and we all benefit. That's the mark of a true leader. Someone who gathers people with good talent, generates enthusiasm, and gets the job done. There was no one better at this than Mike Frieda. With regards to public safety, Mike Frieda stands firm. Public safety is of primary concern to him. Our community and schools must be kept safe. Just take a look at our new police department. State of the art and a model now for most other communities. Also, I want to thank Chief McLaughlin, Deputy Glenn, and former Deputy and now Chief Mullen for their efforts in this project. Each school now has its own SRO officer. Thank you again, Mike, for making that happen. The renovated firehouse and the volunteer stations, also state of the art. New fire vehicles as well. And again, thank you to Chief Januszewski and Deputies Martis and Marcarelli. I can go on, but that's not really necessary. We all know Mike Frieda is the best. He doesn't just promise, he delivers. I'm proud to tell people I live in North Haven, as I'm sure you all are, and I'm proud to call Michael Frieda my first selectman and my friend. Thank you. With that, I'd like to welcome the clergy to stand up, and the invocation given by Pastor Mike Carbaugh, please. Clergy? Okay, everybody.
On behalf of the Clergy Association, we invite you to bow your heads for a time of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you this evening by calling out to you. We ask your blessings as we acknowledge those who will be the chief servants of our community. They take upon themselves a tremendous responsibility, so we seek your blessings for them. For those who are returning to the duties that they have held, I pray they would not grow weary in well-doing. For those who are taking up this mantle for the first time, I pray that they would not be overwhelmed by their new responsibilities. I pray for a great spirit of unity, not in the sense that we give up our own individuality, but rather that we respect one another and learn to value each other's ideas. I ask that you help us to seek those things that are acceptable to you, that we would seek justice, that we would love mercy, and that we would walk humbly to please you. It is in your most holy name that we ask these things. Amen.
I'd like to introduce the Yale Baroque Orchestra to play their first musical interlude. Amazing. Thank you, gentlemen. At this point in the program, I'd like to introduce Judge Michael Brandt to begin the administering of the oaths. Judge Brandt.
Thank you, Larry. It's my honor to be part of this special night. I can't believe I've been probate judge and participating in the inauguration ceremony for 17 years. The hair is grayer, the font on my script is a little larger, but I'm still thrilled to be asked to organize the Superior Court judges here tonight. My job is an easy one because the judges are so willing to take part in the swearing in of our newly elected officials. With the exception of Judge Fisher, and I'll let him explain his connection to North Haven later, all of the judges reside in North Haven, and we're very fortunate to have them here in town. Every 2 years, we gather to celebrate individuals of our great town who are willing to give their time and talents to work together, to provide services, and to continue to improve those services for all the residents of our town. Tonight, we celebrate these individuals. Tonight, we celebrate North Haven. It's my pleasure to introduce our first group of newly elected officials, the constables. Can I please call up Joseph A. Capucci, Kathleen B. Fox, Scott R. Lehman, Millie Stankiewicz, and Carl Veith. The Honorable Walter M. Spader will swear in these individuals.
If you could all raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear, or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as town constable to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or under penalties of perjury? Thank you. Congratulations.
And now our newly elected Board of Assessment Appeals members. Jane M. Andrews, Michael E. Fletcher. And I will ask the Honorable Kevin C. Doyle to swear in those individuals.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to the laws, the duties of a member of the Board of Assessment Appeals to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury? Congratulations. Thank you.
I apologize, Danielle Morphy was also a newly elected member. And now for the alternates to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Andrew P. Gorey, Kenneth M. Quick, and Carolyn A. Yacarino. I will ask the Honorable Bernadette Conway to swear in these individuals.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinance of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue as a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to laws, the duties as alternates to the Zoning Board of Appeals to the best of your ability, So help you God, or under penalty of perjury. Congratulations.
The members of our Zoning Board of Appeals: Donald F. Clark, Albert A.J. Womble. The Honorable Frank A. Iannotti will swear in these individuals.
Raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the Town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties of members of the Zoning Board of Appeals to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury? I will. Congratulations.
Our newly elected members of the Planning and Zoning Commission: Brian R. Cummings, James J. Giletti, E. Richard Wilson. The Honorable Mark T. Gold will swear in these individuals.
Please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the Town of North Haven, so as long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law the duties as members of the Planning and Zoning Commission to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
I will.
Congratulations.
Our new members of the Fire Commission: Jennifer A. Caldwell, Mary Jane Mulligan, and the Honorable Brian T. Fisher will administer their oaths.
And ladies, if you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the Town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties as members of the Fire Commissioner to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury? You do. Congratulations.
Our newly elected police commissioners: Mark J. Calafiore and Robin D. Wilson. And the Honorable Walter M. Spader will administer the oath.
Would you please raise your right hands? Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the ordinances and the Charter of the Town of North Haven, so long as you continue as a citizen thereof, and you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as police commissioners, so to the best of your ability? So help you God, or on penalties of perjury?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
and our members of the Board of Education, Anita Anderson, Jennifer Ciccarelli, Eleni Diaca-Giorgio. And I'll ask Kevin C. Doyle to come forward to administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand, ladies. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the Town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to the law, the duties of a member of the Board of Education to the best of your ability? So help you God under penalty of perjury. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
And now our newly elected members of the Board of Finance: Nancy Barrett, Timothy M. Doheny, Richard Monaco. And I'll ask the Honorable Bernadette Conway to administer their oaths.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinance of the Town of North Haven, for so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to the laws, the duties as members of the Board of Finance to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Congratulations.
At this point, I'd like to invite the El Baroque Orchestra to play a second musical interlude.
It's my pleasure to introduce Lori Jean Hannon as North Haven's treasurer. Lori Jean has been North Haven's treasurer since 2009. She recently retired as the vice president of Sports and Competition, Special Olympics, Connecticut. She has done a lot of great work and recruited volunteers of all ages to assist her in the local Special Olympics events. In her retirement, she remains active in the Special Olympics program. Lori Jean holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Connecticut and an MA degree from the University of New Haven. She is a past chairman of the Community Services Commission. She is a member of the Friends of the Library, a member of the Board of Directors and past president for the Arc of New Haven. Lori Jean is married to Robert Hannon, a lifelong resident of North Haven. Bob always gets special attention, and Lori Jean's attention, but over the past 2 years, Lori Jean's family has grown, and she spends a lot of time with her grandchildren. Lori Jean is so active in our community. I'm fortunate to call her a friend and a neighbor, and we are all fortunate to have her serving the residents of North Haven. Lori Jean, please come forward. Judge Iannotti will give Lori Jean the oath of office as our town treasurer.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties of treasurer to the best of your ability, so help you God, under penalty of perjury. Congratulations.
Next, it is my privilege to introduce J. Stacy Yarbrough as North Haven's Town Clerk Tax Collector. Stacy has been our Town Clerk, Registrar of Vital Statistics, and Tax Collector since 2009. She is a certified Connecticut municipal tax collector. She was born and raised in Mississippi. She received her undergraduate degree from Arizona State University and moved to Connecticut in 1997 for law school. She received her JD from Quinnipiac University School of Law in 2000. She's a licensed attorney in Connecticut Superior Court and the United States District Court, District of Connecticut. Stacy was a trial attorney litigation associate for nearly 10 years before leaving private legal practice to focus on public service as an official for the town of North Haven. Stacy volunteers as a member of the Friends of the North Haven Library. She's a member of the North Haven Historical Society. Stacy is married to Brian Crouch, a lifelong resident of North Haven. They have 2 children, daughter Isabella and son Riley. Stacy spends time volunteering at Clintonville Elementary School and the North Haven Middle School and participating in her children's activities. Stacy, please come forward to be sworn in as North Haven's Town Clerk Tax Collector. Judge Mark Gould will give Stacy the oath of office.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as town clerk and town tax collector to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury? Congratulations.
It's my pleasure to introduce Sally J. Boemi as North Haven's 3rd Selectman. Sally will be sworn in for her 4th term on the Board of Selectmen. She has worked diligently as a member of the Board of Selectmen, expressing her support and her concerns as to the decisions of the board and other issues in town. Sally is a North Haven native. She attended North Haven Public Schools. She graduated from UConn and has her law degree and a master's in public administration. She's been practicing law for almost 36 years. She has her own legal practice in the Mono East section of town. Sally has served on the Board of Finance and Community Service Commissions. She's been involved in sports as an athlete and as a coach and a volunteer in youth softball in town. She is a current member of the Hamden North Haven League of Women Voters, the North Haven Historical Society, the Tomahawk Club, and the Friends of the North Haven Library. I have the honor of swearing in Sally to the Board of Selectmen. Many of you have heard that my mother was Sally's teacher in grade school. She introduced me to Sally when I was in school myself, and she was so proud of all that Sally had accomplished. And Sally, my mother, would continue to be proud of you, and so happy that you are serving the town of North Haven as an elected official. So Sally, please come forward. Sally, do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law the duties of Third Selectman to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
I will.
And it's now my honor to introduce William J. Piper as North Haven's second selectman. This will be Bill's second term on the Board of Selectmen. Bill is a distinguished graduate of the U.S. Military Academy at West Point with a Bachelor of Science degree. He has an MBA in Finance from Long Island University and a Master of Arts degree in Journalism and Advertising and Public Relations from the University of South Carolina. He retired from the U.S. Army as a lieutenant colonel after 23 years of service, including 9 years of active duty and 14 years in the National Guard and Army Reserves. Bill is currently Vice President of Pentegra Retirement Services with over 35 years of experience in financial services. He was Vice Chairman of the Board of Finance. He is a board member of the Connecticut Veterans Legal Center, an agency that provides free legal representation for veterans. He has coached in the Maxinoy Baseball League and North Haven Girls Softball. Bill resides on Bassett Road with his wife, Jean. He has 6 children. Bill and his family are part of the fabric of the town of North Haven. He is a community leader, a businessman, a loving husband, a very involved father, and a dedicated volunteer. Bill, please come forward to be sworn in. I will ask Judge Kevin Doyle to swear in William J. Piper as our second selectman.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear, solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties of second selectman to the best of your ability, so help you God under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
As I said earlier, my job was easy. The person with the difficult job was Valerie Goodkin. She has put this together, sent texts and emails way after hours to make sure that tonight was a success. It's my pleasure to introduce her to speak on behalf of our first selectman.
Thank you, Judge Brandt, and good evening. As Mike said, I am Valerie Goodkin. I am Mike Frieda's executive assistant, and I'm very pleased to be here this evening. I would like to congratulate all of our elected board and commission members here tonight and thank them for their volunteerism and dedication to the town. I would also like to congratulate Bill, Sally, Stacy, and Lori Jean and thank them for their service. I've enjoyed working with all of you and look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. When I was asked to speak about Mike for a few minutes tonight, I was certainly honored and humbled to accept. I was also glad that I would be speaking before him and not after him, because we all know that Mike is a hard act to follow. But seriously, there is a great deal that I can say about Mike, and I'm confident that those who know him would echo my sentiments. He is a man that I am very proud to work alongside, and a man that I am thankful is the leader of our great town. Oftentimes when I meet new people and they find out that I work for Mike Frieda, the response is telltale and immediate. They are quick to tell me how much they love our town and our first selectman. They often tell me how lucky I am to have this job, to which I reply, yes, indeed. Just last week, I met someone who lives in a neighboring town and whose husband works for that town. She happens to work in North Haven, and when she found out that I worked for Mike, she proceeded to tell me how much she loves North Haven and how lucky we are to have Mike Frieda. She also told me that her husband told her she needs to tone it down a bit and stop bragging and gushing about how wonderful Mike Frieda is and the town of North Haven, because it's not looking too good for him at his job. I'm honored to say that during the past 10 years, I have gotten to know Mike very well. Every day, Tammy and I are witness to his integrity, intelligence, and compassion. We have seen firsthand his relentless drive, energy, and tireless pursuit to continually bring North Haven to the next level. With each new accomplishment, Mike immediately looks ahead to the next challenge. I don't believe complacency is a word that is in Mike's copious vocabulary. Mike's presence, not only in North Haven, but on a regional and state level, is extraordinary. He works closely with our state legislators, Senator Len Fasano, Martin Looney, and our state representative, Dave Yaccarino. He works tirelessly and proudly represents North Haven in all he does. Mike sits on a myriad of executive boards and commissions, several which he chairs, and probably too many to list this evening. Several that stand out include the South Central Regional Council of Governments, where he is vice chairman, and he is scheduled to be chairman in 2021 for his second term. In 2013, Mike was appointed by Governor Malloy to the State of Connecticut Police Officers Standards and Training Council. Among their other important responsibilities, Post is charged with developing, adopting, and enforcing professional standards and certification of Connecticut's police officers. And I would be remiss if I did not brag a bit about his prestigious upcoming appointment in January as the incoming president of the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities. CCM is the state's largest nonpartisan organization of municipal leaders representing towns and cities of all sizes from all corners of the state, with 169 member municipalities. Mike's nomination for this impressive position received unanimous bipartisan support from all their members from all over the state. And as a result of Mike's outstanding financial insight and abilities, he was voted as the chairman of CCM's Finance and Audit Committee. Mike has received countless awards, honors, and recognition for his legislative leadership. A few highlights during his time in office include recognition by the Connecticut Economic Resource Center for his outstanding impact on the economy and his contributions to the success in growing communities, regions, and the state. He received the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce's Legislative Leadership Award in 2011 and again in 2017. And most recently, he received their Development Investment Award for the Amazon Fulfillment Center. Amazon is a project that Mike worked on for quite some time, showcasing his business acumen, negotiation, and communication skills. It's a project that has already brought nearly 3,000 new jobs to North Haven, sparking revitalization of businesses up and down Washington Avenue. Last year, under Mike's leadership, North Haven achieved a remarkable grand list growth of 2.8%, resulting in over $2.3 million in incremental revenue for the town. And North Haven is poised for continued economic growth with Mike at the helm. And with all that Mike does on a regional and state level, he never loses sight of North Haven, striving to bring about economic growth, balanced budgets, and improved town infrastructure. To provide the best level of public safety, fiscal management, and town services and amenities, he works closely with our department heads, Chief McLaughlin, Chief Januszewski, Ed Swinkowski, Lynn Sadowski, Mike Maturo, Sue Griffiths, and Superintendent of Schools Patrick Stirk. With Mike working closely with Ed Swinkowski, our Director of Finance, the town of North Haven has for 5 consecutive years maintained a AAA financial rating by Standard & Poor's, the best rating a town can receive, and one that every municipality strives for. Receiving and maintaining this AAA rating has resulted in significant savings to our town, upwards of well over $1 million. It's no surprise that when it comes to executing clean and efficient energy strategies, Mike was an early adopter. North Haven has been a leading community in implementing sound and responsible energy programs, and in acknowledgement of our leadership, environmental stewardship, and commitment to clean and efficient energy in Connecticut, the town of North Haven has received several sustainability awards, including the gold level of recognition by the Clean Energy Communities Program and the Green Circle Sustainability Award from the Hartford Business Journal and the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. And most recently, North Haven received the 2019 certification in Best Practices in Economic Development and Land Use Planning from the Connecticut Economic Development Association. Of course, one of Mike's biggest challenges is being able to attend the hundreds of events annually all over town. Many evenings and most weekends, he takes each invitation seriously and sacrifices much personal and beloved family time to be present with the people who have put their confidence in his leadership. The key elements of leadership are the ability to create a vision and then to lead people toward its fulfillment. Leaders look for new opportunities or different ways to foster growth. Leaders find the new and look to the future, building on but not resting on current success. Good leaders also look for differences and opportunities rather than necessarily taking the most obvious, comfortable, or popular route. These are all important elements of leadership, and all ones that Mike Frieda displays. But we should never forget that in leadership, as in life, it's often the little things that count. Mike, while focusing on the big picture, goes the extra mile with people, creating defining moments that can be a turning point in their lives. He truly cares about people, and that comes across in all he does. He brings his experience, knowledge, and leadership to every situation he encounters. And I am confident that there are very few individuals that can bring to this position of chief elected official anything more than this man. It is now my very distinct pleasure and privilege to call to the podium the Honorable Brian T. Fisher to issue the oath of office to our leader, our first selectman, Mr. Michael J. Frieda.
Mr. Frieda, you want to come up here, please, so I could do my job? Valerie, wonderful words. I echo everything that Valerie said on behalf of my dear friend of over 61 years. I can't tell you how proud I am of Mr. Frieda. And I know, Valerie, you went through how much a pleasure it is to work with Mike Frieda, how much you like working with Mike Frieda. I've had the pleasure of calling him my best friend for 61 years, so In many respects, I'm the luckiest man in this room. And I wish you, Mr. Frieda, the continued success as you have shown over the last decade plus here in the town of North Haven. So, Mr. Frieda, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, and the Charter and ordinances of the town of North Haven, so long as you continue as a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties as First Selectman to the best of your ability, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
I do, and I will.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Valerie, Larry, Judge Fisher, for all the kind words. You know, I'm a very grateful and honored man this evening. I have the distinct pleasure of working with these wonderful town officials to my right. Let's give them a round of applause. And I have the distinct and incredible pleasure of working with these fine men here to my left. Many of these judges are personal friends of mine. I thank them for their service to the state of Connecticut, and my three dear friends who I've had relationships with long before we took these positions: Senator Martin Looney, State Representative Dave Iaccarino, and Senator Len Fasano. Let's give them a round of applause. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, the life of a chief elected official is not very easy. We spend a lot of time away from our families, attending events, out every night. So I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to you from a personal standpoint tonight and introduce some members of my family who are here. They're always in the background, but they're incredibly supportive of me. My wife, Shirley Frieda. We've been together a long time, and it's so true when people say the mothers and the wives are the glue of the families. She's always in the background, but she's always greatly supportive. And even in my corporate business career, I was away a lot, much like this position where I'm out every night on the weekends. Shirley's been the glue to the family, and she's done a remarkable job at raising our children. And Shirley, I thank you very much. We give her a round of applause. My son Michael's here this evening. I'm very proud of him. He's a young business executive moving up the ranks, and I'm very proud of him. He was married a couple of years ago. My beautiful daughter-in-law couldn't be here this evening. She's babysitting for our first grandchild, who was a year old this past week, little Gianna, and we're very grateful to be blessed that way. Michael, give Danielle my best. Please tell her I love her. My daughter Sherry's here this evening. She's an accomplished nurse working in the Yale healthcare system and also working at another surgical center in Hamden. She's done a marvelous job down through the years building her career. I'm very proud of her. And for those of you that have adult children, we always are concerned about our children's happiness. And yet, when significant others come into their lives that make them even happier, we as parents have a wonderful feeling about that. And her significant other is here this evening, and we're very grateful that he came into our lives with our daughter Sherry, Mr. Steve Dubrava, a wonderful man. Stephen? We love you very much, Stephen. Thank you for being part of our family. The older sister I never had growing up, my cousin Barbara's here. We come from a large family on that side. Barbara lives here in North Haven. I'm very grateful. And she babysat for me all those years. And Barb, I love you very much. Thank you for being here. And my brother Jim is here this evening. I had one sibling, my younger brother Jim, and we've been together, of course, a long time. We've seen a lot of ups and downs. And Jim, thank you for coming. And Jim, it seems hard to believe, that it was 44 years ago today that we buried our young father. And when we look back on that, that was a very difficult time for us and our family. But ladies and gentlemen, sometimes through tragedy comes transformational events. As I sat around after that funeral, looking at my younger brother, looking at my 47-year-old mother who lost the love of her life, her sweetheart, I saw a tremendous amount of devastation at that kitchen table that evening. And the transformational moment for me at that point as a very young man was a fire was lit under me that night, 44 years ago today. A fire, an incendiary spark, in which I said to myself, despite the fact that we were a struggling middle-class family, we really had nothing. We lost our father who was 50 years old. There was no money in the bank, and we really literally had only a home, no savings, and now no income. That night, I made a vow that no matter what it took, no matter how hard I had to work, without making excuses and without asking anyone for any assistance, I was going to do everything I could, starting 44 years ago tonight, to become as successful as I possibly could be. It was a journey, an 18-year journey, but after 18 years, I found myself as president, chief executive officer of a billion-dollar company. I found myself sitting on corporate boards for some of the largest companies in the United States, and I found myself contemplating a lucrative offer to join the National Speakers Bureau. And then, through a twist of fate, I changed careers. And 10 years ago, I took office here in North Haven in December of 2009. And ladies and gentlemen, after 10 years, I want each and every one of you to know how grateful I am to be in this position, how much I love the citizens of North Haven, and how I have no regrets about leaving a corporate business career to serve the public. And today, 10 years later, there still is that glowing ember inside the soul of this administration, a glowing ember never to be satisfied in terms of getting complacent, a glowing ember to continue to set new boundaries, new goals and objectives to try to advance this great town forward. When I look back, ladies and gentlemen, at times like this, I have almost a kaleidoscope of memories and images and reflections in my mind. The citizens I've met, the relationships I've developed, and the wonderful support that I'm very grateful to have received. Recently, I went back even further. I stumbled across a black and white video. You see, when I was a little boy, we would come out to 27 Fifth Street, my aunt and uncle, Sal and Phyllis Fusco, and I loved coming into the Monowee section. Those years, starting when I was 1 year old, my uncle used to take video camera films of the Christmas days there. So recently I stumbled across that family video, one of them that my aunt gave me. And picture the scene. There was a living room with a Christmas tree to the far left, with a woman decorating the tree as bulbs were burning brightly, tossing tinsel on the tree, and there were two 13-year-old boys by the tree. And all of a sudden, my aunt looked to her right, and entering the room was this strikingly handsome couple, and their names were Mike and Mary Frieda. And with them was a little boy, even then dressed in a jacket and tie. As they walked into the room, the little boy with a jacket and tie was holding his father's hand. And it dawned on me that all these decades later, that little boy is entering into his 6th term as North Haven's chief elected official. Little did I realize back then, coming out to North Haven, that I would be serving the fine citizens of North Haven. So as I look back and glance back in time, I'm very grateful. But I'm constantly looking forward. So what does the future of North Haven look like? Well, I'd like to ask you to join me, and collectively let's hold hands and walk down the path to the future of North Haven. And what we will see, I can guarantee you, we will see the bright blue skies of continued economic development and top-line revenue growth and balanced budgets. We will also see the radiant sunshine of a wonderful community to live in, a community in which your government will continue to reinvest back into augmenting its services, a community that is focused on it remaining and continuing to be a marvelous place to live. And as each day unfolds, and the days turn into the nights, and the nights turn into the days, as we walk together down the path of the future, at night there will be a bright moonlight shining across the landscape of North Haven against a tapestry of bright and shining stars. Each one of those stars represents the citizens of North Haven. And that bright moonlight and those bright shining stars signify a community and a government where its citizens can rest assured and sleep well at night, knowing that they are in good hands with the way this government is being run and will continue to be run. I am incredibly grateful for the employees of North Haven. Valerie and Tammy, I couldn't do it without each of you. Tammy joined us a few years ago, an outstanding compliment to Valerie. I appreciate her efforts. Every department head making significant contributions to the town of North Haven, along with all of its marvelous employees. I'm very grateful to your efforts. In closing, I'd like you to know that as we move forward, in the burning heart of your chief elected official lies an unmistakable fire and an insatiable desire to continue to move forward, to continue to deliver positive results. And my commitment to you is there will continue to be positive outcomes unfolding here in our great town of North Haven. Thank you very much.
Sure, Val, I gotta follow that. I'd like to call on Pastor Scott Morrow of the Congregational Church for the benediction, please.
Let us pray. O God of holiness and justice, of unhesitating love, we recognize this evening the ideals and the skills and the dedication that provide the impulse and the resources to public service. We celebrate the community that is so dear to us, the community that we aspire to be together. Affirmative, generous, welcoming. And we acknowledge the responsibilities of citizenship for all of those of us who have not sworn oaths this evening, to engage in the life of our community, to respond to our leaders with thoughtfulness and respect, to care for our neighbors, to welcome strangers with faith, hope, and resolve. And now, O Holy One, we ask your blessing as we live together and as we work together. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look upon you with kindness and give you peace. Amen.
So this will conclude tonight's ceremony. I want to again thank the Yale musicians over here. Wonderful Valerie, Tammy, just an amazing job of putting this together. Congratulations to everybody, left and right. And thank you all for attending tonight. And thank you all on NHTV for viewing this. And speaking of NHTV, thank you, NHTV, for always doing a tremendous job. There will be some light refreshments served in the lobby, so please stay around if you'd like to. I now call upon Post 76, Commander Maturo, to retire the colors.
And salute. 2, retire the colors.
Good night, everybody.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.